We're here for another session at the TIP stand. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rudolph Moncrieff. I'm the head of content and communications at Telecom Infra Project. It's great to have you all here with us. And we hear a lot about the things that grab a lot of attention, like Open RAN, and this is a great opportunity to talk about some of our other projects and some of the major announcements that came out a couple of weeks ago. And also what I think is one of the most underrated bits of the work that we do, which is the OPT project group and the Open Optical Packet Transport. And I've got two great representatives from our participants here today, Kelly LeBlanc and Nanda from, who your surname is?
Nanda
Ravindran.
Yes.
From Edgecore, and Kelly is from IPInfusion. And we're going to talk a little bit about our multi-net deployment from in Pakistan from a couple of weeks ago. But before we do that, Kelly, Nanda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Kelly, why don't you go first?
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Rudolph. I am Kelly LeBlanc, and I am the Chief Marketing and Product Officer at IPInfusion. And I'm based at our headquarters in Santa Clara, California. Mm-hmm. And a little bit about IPInfusion. We have been in business for over 20 years now. In fact, we're the first company to bring to market a network operating system for the open networking market, servicing the service providers, the data centers, and OEM customers. So I'm really pleased to be here today.
We're happy to have you. And Nanda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Nanda Ravindran, and I'm responsible for product line at Edgecore. And
where are you based?
Yeah. So I'm based in Bangalore, India.
Cool.
And what I want to say is, Edgecore is a leading provider of open networking solutions.
Yes.
And we have products both on the data center and enterprise and service provider side. And looking forward to talk about multi-net.
Yeah, I mean, the multi-net announcement was pretty huge. We're going to talk about it a little bit. It just covers the whole of Pakistan.
Yeah.
So maybe you were both involved in that project. Can you share a little bit with our audience why that announcement was so important? And Nanda, why don't you go first this time?
Yeah. So it is the scale. As you said, It covers the entire country. Okay, 120 cities. 14,000 kilometers.
Wow.
Okay, of fiber reach and capacity.
Yeah, and Pakistan is like, it's not a flat country. It's like
exactly. So and also at the cost or the total cost of deploying that. So it's really huge. It's brought out something about open networking, especially the packet optical solution.
Yeah.
And we hope customers and other service providers will see this. So we are pretty excited.
And Kelly, like you said, IPInfusion has been doing this for a long time. How is this a little bit different than previous deployments you've worked on?
Well, I would say it continues the traction that we've been getting. It started out in the early days when we were just getting started, but this is a huge project.
Right.
And in fact, why we're so excited about this project is Multinet, with this announcement, shows that they are a leader and an innovator. They could have had a number of vendors they could have selected for this project, but they decided to go open networking. And so for us, it's really a testament to the progress and the momentum that our movement has.
No, totally. And how important is the role of the TIP community in the work that you do and in supporting these kinds of deployments?
Well, for us, the TIP community is essential. So we've been with TIP since the very beginning. I can give a couple examples.
Yeah, please.
So last year we received the TIP Gold Badge for our OCNOS network operating system. This helps a lot. One of the things that the network operators need is confidence.
Yeah.
And if you receive that Gold Badge, it is known that you have gone through rigorous testing, and also you can interoperate in a multi-vendor environment. The entire promise of network disaggregation is to eliminate reliance on a single vendor.
Right.
You have to work with the entire community, and that's what the Gold Badge shares.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, coming back and having live events such as the Fuse conference, last October in Madrid, this was really a great conference where we were able to meet up with all of our partners and our customers face to face, some of us after a long time.
Yeah.
So these are just a couple examples.
And Nanda, how do you find that the TIP community and these processes help to bring innovation to market?
So the key is the TIP specifications. I mean, you collaborate with the service providers, you collaborate with the vendors, you collaborate with the chipset vendors, and then you come up with the specification that we as providers work on. And again, your labs, your your test plans, help us to prepare, and essentially with TIP driving it, it makes it easier for us that we follow what you're doing, and then you also put us in front of service providers or customers that we can show and showcase the solution. So you definitely bring that and accelerate it for us.
Yeah, sure. I think that's maybe one of the critical things that we hear is the role of the labs in helping a community of really organizations that don't necessarily have the resources to test everything in that kind of environment. Absolutely. With those kinds of partners, and it's also, I think it's also worth mentioning that at Fuse we relaunched our badging process and simplified it. So now it's bronze, silver, gold. And congratulations on the gold badges. I think, but now we've got the bronze, which is kind of validated by the supplier against the TIP requirements. Silver, which is tested and through trials, and gold, which is really the plug and play, the top standard, which really helps, I guess, service providers to kind of have confidence in those products. And I wanted to ask then, but we talk a lot about the benefits of open and disaggregated for things like TCO and kind of like the widespread, like kind of a wider ecosystem. But how do these technologies, or do they help address like other problems like supply chain issues?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you bring up a good point. So, in the last couple of years, supply chain has been a huge issue for not just us, for all the operators and all of our customers. So, open networking with disaggregation, with the software and hardware separated out, the customers have a choice. Either they, approach Edgecore or any other partner who's part of TIP ecosystem to go and source the hardware that they need. Yeah. So it's very critical, and it's been one of the huge selling points, which we didn't even think of several years ago. Right. But in the last few years, it's been one of the huge selling points for open networking.
Do you have anything to add there, Kelly?
Oh, yes. So, we can share some really nice examples, especially working with Edgecore. I'm thinking of one customer right now who is an ISP, and this customer was growing so fast during the pandemic, providing the services to their community, and they couldn't get the hardware that they needed. They were quoted 2 years. Right. And so how do you grow in this case? How do you service your community? Well, we came together with Edgecore, and we not only beat that, but we got them up and running in 3 months. Right. So I think really the value proposition of reducing time to market from 2 years to 3 months, fully operational.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. And I think something that's a little bit underrated and maybe misunderstood in the industry at large is it's not just on the setup that you need this hardware. Is software gets updated regularly, and a software update can also create a need for hardware. Is that also something that you find?
Yes, exactly.
And how does the TIP community help to mitigate some of the challenges and complexities of deployments like this? Like, what is the role of the TIP community when it comes to like these large deployments? And how does it provide confidence beyond the badging for service providers and other stakeholders?
Well, there's so many examples. Everything from the certification to the lab testing, and also just providing the right community when the right resources to provide information. There's always hesitancy when you're going to go for disaggregation or something new. One example that always comes to mind that comes up in every discussion is who's going to support. Right. Well, when you have a TIP community, you have the companies such as Edgecore and IPInfusion coming together to provide support, but also TIP providing support. Right. So they're covered.
Yeah, and you also have access to all the other customers who have deployed a similar solution.
Sure.
So somebody as TIP, talking to customers like Multinet and convincing them that these solutions have been out there and providers have deployed it, makes a huge difference.
Sure. And Nanda, you mentioned when we spoke about some of the challenges of when you're deploying a technology like optical, of kind of like the skill sets that you need. How was that? How did that affect you for the Multinet deployment?
Multi-net deployment is huge. It's still, in the process of getting deployed. So essentially, we have our technical support team, who's well versed, in these optical deployments. So essentially, what it comes down to is, some of the use cases that we are used to in deploying this, and we have our technical support Multinet through the deployment process.
And because I noticed that the systems integrator is also a local player.
Yes.
In Pakistan, and I think I think something that's kind of underrated with the work that we do is it helps to support local ecosystems.
Exactly.
And it keeps skills within the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit is we hear a lot about it at the moment, again in Open RAN, about the skill set that's lacking. And that's why we launched TIP Academy last year. In 2022, we launched TIP Academy, and we started with the Open RAN program. But I think this year we're looking to expand that, and hopefully we're going to have an OPT program as well, which was also going to contribute to growing that expertise around those products, and again keeping the skills within the country, which is such an important part. Which is also why I'm so pleased that this deployment happened in Pakistan. It shows the viability of the product. I think if you can do it in such a complex environment as Pakistan, then you can really do it everywhere.
Everywhere, yes.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, any final words from you, Kelly?
Well, we just look forward to continuing our partnership and continuing to light up more countries with open networking.
Any exciting things on the horizon that we should be aware of?
Well, so for IPInfusion, we have we're continuing to bring out new solutions with our product portfolio. So you'll continue to see new products from us coming out with the cell site router and DCSG,
Great.
The aggregation router, data center, and the routed optical networking.
Cool. Nanda, same question.
So not just on the OOPT. As Kelly mentioned, DCSGs, and looking forward to collaborate with TIP on the Open Wi-Fi, Open BNG, and the DDBR. So we are involved in every segment or every project that TIP is into.
I think I'll just wrap up quickly by saying I think at TIP we have the best acronyms: DDBR, OOPT, DCSG. And if you want to know what all that means, check out our website. And there's some great explainers there, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event at Fuse in Madrid, 9th to 11th of October. Edit that out, please. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you.